Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Forgotten Podcast. I'm your host, Catman Joe, of course, joined by the wonderful and amazing man himself, the cynic, Mr. Mass Cynic.
That would be me.
That would be him, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just begin by just saying, I've just read off the intro because I almost forgot it over there, but let's just begin by just saying Happy New Year, guys. Hope everybody's having a fantastic beginning to their new year, 2022. I'm sure you've all read the title, and you might be like, oh, what's happening here? Is this like a New Year special? We're going to talk about our resolutions? Maybe. We might actually, I never know. But we actually wanted to make this episode to really more or less speak about how tragically bad 2021 has been for both of us.
It has been abysmal. And also, for those who are currently wondering, for us right now, it is still 2021, so we're still immensely suffering.
Should we say the exact date?
Ooh,
just to give reference.
To give them a week radius so they can guess.
Well, to give everybody a bit of an understanding, right now, obviously, myself and Joseph, we're building up to Christmas. As it goes towards the Christmas time, we're trying to get everything kind of done for TFP. And all of the episodes you're going to see, episode 26, 27, 28, and obviously, which is this one, 29, and 30, were all recorded before they were released inherently, of course.
We wanted to primarily pre-record a lot of episodes before Christmas, because me and Joe both get really busy around December. And also just because both of our birthdays are in January, so we kind of want to prep for that so we can have a bit of chill time, because obviously everyone deserves a break on their birthday. Overall, it's just kind of a way of pre-recording, and we thought, you know what, a good way to send it off and start a new year would be to talk about this year, how abysmal it was, because I think me and Joe have had both quite a similar kind of year. A lot of the problems have been somewhat similar in a regard, a lot of stuff like that, and we're all going to get into it, obviously, further down the line. But overall, I think it's something worth speaking about when it comes to being a creator, and also us as individuals as well. It's just something cool to speak about, just so we can get it out there, and we don't have to think about it anymore. You know?
Yeah, it's for us. We titled this, and this is all due to Joseph. Joseph's always the one who comes up with these amazing one-liner titles. This is called "The Tragic Tale of 2021," which is a bit of a kind of a little bit of a strong.
It's quite
title.
Emphasizing, but that's what we need. We need a bit of alliteration and a bit of hyperbole.
But obviously, guys, we're going to be talking about 2022, what we plan on doing for the future for TFP a little bit. We're going to leave more of what we want to do for the future TFP for episode 30, and we like to do those for the red rated episodes. But we're going to talk about, for us personally, what we're going to be doing for the future, so we can kind of more for episode 30 and onwards and whatnot focus on telling you guys what the podcast is going to do for the future. But I guess let's start and talk, I guess, real quick, overall about 2021, how it's been for both of us. I'd honestly openly say, and I'm not sure about the audience and whatnot, but I would actually say this right here, right now as well. I was going to mention this at the beginning, but I forgot to. Let us know in the description or in the comment section, how your year's been. How is your 2021? Like, it's 2022 right now. It's the 1st of January 2022. Let us know what you're leaving behind in 2021. What bad habits, what bad things have happened to you? What have you been through? Has it been a good year?
Did you want to start off with resolutions and then go into it, or do you want to end with resolutions?
Because
I'd say do resolutions if you want.
Yeah, we can do. Do you want to start on resolutions?
If you want to go first, because I have no idea just yet.
Neither do I. That's what I say. But no, for me personally, resolution-wise, like what I want to accomplish this year, I know for me personally, it's most likely going to be working on my own channel. I really want to get back to work full scale on my own channel. We kind of talked about this, which was really nice with Dan, VIP Man, in his episode. Like the concept of kind of focusing more on one thing as opposed to 10 others. And at the minute, I'm focusing on a lot. I've got Catman Joe, Catman Vlogs, Catman Clips, Catman Shorts, Catman VODs, Catcast, Forgotten Podcast, Catman Radio. Just fleets, Catman Joe with the K, like all these other channels, plus a hidden channel about, of course, not to say anything. But it's like there's all these different channels that I've got going, and the OnlyFans, of course. I know I never really ever set myself sub goals. I know content creators who go, I want to hit 100k, or I'm going to hit 100k this year, and I never like to do that because I feel like I've always felt like it's like you're setting yourself up for failure, if you know what I mean, because it's kind of like...
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I kind of wanted to say, and I keep saying to myself, I'm going to get to that point, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to give myself X amount of time to get to this. And it's like, but then I'm going to burn out, and then I'm going to hate it, and then I'm going to hate myself for saying that I will do it, and then not do it, etc.
Yeah, or that you didn't achieve the goals.
And if I get there, it's kind of like, it was a goal, not really an achievement,
Yeah, well, that's kind of, and what kind of sucks is, like, I don't like to set myself up for failure. So if someone says, people will, right, especially at New Year, people always go, oh, hey, like, for me, especially at New Year, we've got like a bunch of friends, a bunch of channel members that are going to become Red Cats, which is like the 24-month membership. They're a member for like 2 years now, which is insane. So I'm going to be streaming on New Year, obviously, of course, inherently and whatnot. And probably when this episode comes out as well, I'll probably stream on the 1st of January because that'll be a Saturday. I will actually be streaming 100% on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But for me personally, people always ask me, what's your goals for this year, sub-wise, whatever, and I never like to answer it. But I think for this year, I'll say that, although I don't like to answer it because I don't want to set myself up for failure, I'll say it openly and honestly. I want to really try and push for 100k. I really want to try and push for 100k. I've got the equipment now, as you know, I've got the PC, I've got all the stuff here, everything I really inherently have always needed, and I know I can do it. I've just got to really double down and just put more work into it. But I do want to do a lot better than I did in 2021. 2021 probably, and undoubtedly, I think I could say at least be my worst year ever.
I would agree. I think
such a strong thing.
In terms, obviously, I could definitely say there are different years for different things in a negative light, but I think the overall mental state, 2021 has been really bad. Really bad. I came into 2021 drunk, and I've never been drunk before, and since then I haven't been. So that's not a good indicator. But for resolution's sake, I don't really know. I kind of want to really emphasize my character. I feel like I spent such a long time trying to figure out who I am as a creator and as a person, and that's why I had the whole name change thing happen this year, where I got rid of Curious Hippo because I became too intertwined with that character, with that name, where I didn't know who I was, I didn't know what the creation was doing. It was like a weird mix of my personality and this fake character that I've made, and there was no separation to the point where it was like, oh, this is kind of just, who I am, and it's not good because I have no escape. It's kind of always there. So I decided to obviously change it. And what I want to do, and what I mean by emphasize that character, is because, well, when I've got this new name, the Mars Cynic, is because I like the idea of being able to criticize and talk about things in a negative light. I'm very good at that. I'm not a very glass half full kind of person. I'm quite negative, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing, that's what that means, but I don't think it's a bad thing to be a bad person, because I don't
to be
think
no, real quick, sorry, it is a bad thing to be a bad person, but I think it's not a bad thing to criticize things. That's kind of what it is.
Yes, I know. I was gonna correct myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because
overall, it's the whole I like to be. I like to be the devil's advocate in everything. I like to disagree with people. It's a cool way of going about things. And my goal right now, I would say for this year, 2022, is to get as far as I can with my main channel, as far as possible. Because I think as of now, and as of changing my name from Curious Hippo to Mars Cynic, I've got to that point where I kind of know what my brand is. I know what my thing is. I feel like you spend such a long time trying to look for your niche, you try to look for your format, and when you get it, you kind of have to just experiment with it. And I think I'm now at that period where I realize that my thing is this new sort of animated, quick-fire, snappy commentary edits with a pessimistic undertone. I think that's kind of what suits me the best. It's the content that I find easiest and more fun to make, and hopefully as I go further along and I'm more consistent, and I keep working harder and harder and harder to improve upon the quality of those videos, they'll start to pick up and do better. Because I know commentary is a very grey area for growing an audience if I don't choose the right things, but I'm sure I can get there, because this year, 2022, so many things are going to change, and that whole being stuck between a character and a real person has stopped. And also on top of that, how when you work, sleep, and do everything in the same room for years, it becomes so much harder to break into a more working environment and be more productive. That's also going to change. I'm going to be moving in with my dad. We're going to set up a new studio there. I know for Christmas I think I'm getting my bow and arrow, and I'm going to start my archery up again. I'm going to do some bits of that maybe on YouTube, maybe a separate channel, but I think that'd be cool to incorporate because it's a skill that not many people do. And I just feel like it'd be cool to branch out to these different things. I've got documentary that I want to work.
Do we want to talk about this? There's so many things that we've known behind the scenes. I mean,
I refer to the document. That's the most I've ever really expressed about it publicly. The documentary. I've referred to it in the past as Project Rebirth, because I want it to be a secret. It's a documentary, but I want the idea behind it to be quite a mystery, because when I release it, I want it to be there and hit hard. Because behind me on the shelf, you can't see it 'cause it's behind my chair, I've got 2 books with names of gamer tags and people I've met online over the past 10 years, and I'm going to be speaking about all these people. because I love the community we've created, and I think it's good to manifest that in one big thing to bring everyone together. Hear it or not hear anymore. It's just cool.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. I think honestly, it's been a struggle for all of it. I think we both, I mean, I'm going to tell honestly what I've been going through and what I've dealt with. I think a lot of the stuff that I've dealt with, I've already kind of thankfully jotted down, and I'm thankful I have. It's like, it's nice to speak about it here, because like, obviously we're approaching Christmas, and like we already said, like just to set everything, by the way, clear for everybody, for me, Joseph, to do TFP, this has been a real challenge. We're going to speak more about this in episode 30. To pick this back up and to get this going to the point that we've got it going now, where we're getting concurrently every week episodes out, it's no easy feat, because this doesn't take us 5 minutes to make. We don't just sit here and we just turn on the camera and get going. Like with these episodes we kind of do, but we always have a good base in mind of as whatever we want to do. We're very strategic people, and with this show we're very strategic in how we want to get our guests on, and who we want to get on, and when we want to get them on, and how we want it to be done. And that's why, like, I'm not trying to say too much here, but you can expect to see some very big things on this show, and we're going to speak more about that in episode 30, so stay tuned for that.
We do plan a lot of things, like, very much in
advance. Very much in advance, yeah.
It's very rare that we have a spontaneous change, and I think the only time we had a really big spontaneous change was when we got the art made, because I remember I talked to my one of my artists, Ben, and we got some rough doodles done, and then we got Reed to go over them and make them a bit more fresh, and now we've got the version we currently use. So that was kind of a bit out of nowhere, but it was a good incentive to get started and start making new things. Overall though, we usually plan everything a good few weeks in advance. We always sit there and say, hey, we've got to get this done for this week. Some weeks we have 3 episodes done in advance, sometimes we're quite close cutting it, but we always get it done because we sit there and say, this is a passion project.
This is what we want to get done.
And
we plan, like, we don't fully plan it. We always leave a little bit room for adjusting things. But we do plan what we call a season. Now, we don't actually identify TFP in a sense of seasons. Like, we don't, like, there's not a season 1, season 2, whatever. It's just the whole thing. But for us, we identify as a chapter. Yeah, we identify like the chapters every 10 episodes as a season. So as we're now ending season 3, which is our return season, which is where we came back, episode 20, which was of course Not Yet Forgotten, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and up to episode 30. We're kind of locking it down and finishing things and moving on. For episode 30, we're doubling down and we're putting more things into TFP, which we can't tell you yet, but it's going to be very exciting.
It's definitely easier to dissect the different chapters as well if we do it in that way. So like every 10 episodes we'll categorize that as a season, etc. And I think you can definitely tell a massive, and this is just why we've done it, but you can definitely tell a massive increase in productivity, production value, etc., quality of life, just by looking at it. So if you look for episode 1 to 10, it's definitely a lot worse than 20 to 20, whatever we're on now, 28.
Well, 8,
so,
8,
you know,
I think that's what I love. That's what I love. TFP has been entirely rebranded. I'm going to jump off this subject because we don't want to say too much here, because obviously episode 30 is where this is going to be, right? Just mute for a second, but it's cool. But in general, though, if you really look at TFP episodes 1 to episodes 20, and you look at how it's changed the timeline, it's really quite fascinating. You can see this general change of these 2 guys who, or well, technically it was 3 at the beginning, who started up a passion project they originally done way back years before, and here we are now, and it's just been beautiful. But I mean, this is something I want to speak about again. Obviously, of course, like how 2021 has been for both of us, in a sense of how much we've grown. This year has probably undoubtedly been, this year has been, for at least me, the worst year of my entire life. Which I feel like when you say worst, it's very dramatic, but it's been a very difficult. I'm going to say worst. I don't like using the word worst. I'm going to say it's been the most difficult and the most challenging year of my entire life. The good thing though is about change like this, when it happens, is that you grow quite a lot. A lot of things in my circumstances in my personal life has changed tremendously, to a point where I never would have wanted them to change like this, but because of those changes, it's folding me and made me into a better person, I'd say. And it made me have to do certain things that I never thought about doing.
It's like forced you into a more disciplined path type thing. That's
technically, it's changed me into a way where I've got different disciplines and different kind of standards. And I mean, for 2021 or 2022, excuse me, my resolutions, my goals, like I said, is to try and maybe shoot for 100k. I know I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna say try and shoot for 100k on my channel. But I've got to get that. I've got to be consistently putting out content daily. I want to try and do that. I want to try and build my audience and bring it back into my channel. I feel like I've lost a lot of the soul that was my channel, and the reason why is because I started outstretching myself, started doing all these different passion projects, which I don't regret. I'm going to keep doing them, but in general, I started doing things that I never really liked doing, like the news content for Minecraft. I love it to an extent, but there's like a love-hate relationship. I do it because it brings new people in, but I hate it because it's just not what I like doing as much anymore.
You like the growth, not the action of making a video.
No,
which is
no,
how I felt
exactly.
when I did news stuff, so I completely understand why you'd be like that.
Yeah,
so,
but
it's just...
Sorry.
No, so it's fine. I was done.
All right, no, but yeah, so like my goal is to grow the main channel, to grow my sub channels, or like all the extra little ones, all of them. I want to try and this year get every single extra channel, like other one of mine, past 1K. I also want to double down and keep working on TFP, of course, because that's been an amazing thing. But I also as well want to try and work my Twitch. I recently got right back into Twitch, of course. I've already told you about this, Joseph. Getting like 300 followers this month, 350, 300, maybe even 80, I think it is now, which is just phenomenal numbers. And it's I can do much better. I'm just going to try and do daily Twitch streams. I really want to get into that. I want to really, by the end of 2022, I want to be up to, I'm at 2,000 followers right now. I want to realistically, if I'm trying to, realistically is quite I hate, being realistic ruins dreams, right? So I'm going to say I want to try and shoot for 10K plus followers on Twitch by the end of the year 2022, 10K followers, which if you think about it logically, I think that there's potential for it. It's a lot, it's shooting quite far, because even 400 a month, 10 months, that's 4,000. But I think if I can somehow keep growing, keep doing that, I'll get more viewers, and we can push for.
I want to try and double my main channel sub count.
I think that's a very good,
because I think that's very doable in a year if I just put my mind to it, because it's one of those things where it's like I just need to sit down and do it, because every time that I've been like, oh, I'll do it then, and I'll do it then, you get to there and you don't do it. It's
yeah.
I remember messaging you. Yeah, no, I remember messaging you earlier on the year, and you were having the same problem with burnout and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, man, I've got all these ideas, but I can't do it. Why can't I do it? And you said the same thing.
I get these. I mentioned this in my personal vlogs, which again, this is why I'm so thankful. This year, although it's been very challenging, one of the good divots that came from it was starting on my personal vlogs. Like I already had Catman vlogs. I mean, Joe, you've known about this for years, right? But like I already had Catman vlogs. But see my Catman vlogs now, I love it with such an intense amount of love. It's unreal. It's just that it's really me. I'm really putting myself into it. I'm telling everybody how I'm really feeling. It's these weekly kind of like documentaries, almost a little bit, not really documentaries, but it's like a weekly podcast on my own. Yeah, and it just tells you what's been happening. And I mean, when I first started, I was at such a low point. I was waking up at like 7 o'clock at night. I was going to bed at like 9 a.m. It was horrible. I was missing videos. I was not getting stuff done. I was feeling the worst I've ever felt. And then of course it wasn't long after that I started to fix my schedule. And then Murphy's Law, right? You start getting things better and something bad comes along. I got an eviction notice, and it was horrible. 25th of March, I believe it was. I got an eviction notice, and I got told, hey, you're going to get kicked out of your house. Tried to do everything I could to try and save the house, but couldn't. And then I got evicted, and from there it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. It was a horrible experience. But the good things that came from it, like I said, personal vlogs, TFP, etc., which is such a big plus. You know what I mean? Being able to do the Forgotten podcast and get it back and running, of course. Being able to do the personal vlogs, etc. Being able to get back into Twitch. So many pluses have came from it, and I've grown quite a lot. I feel like, which is a really good kind of thing in general as well.
I feel like a lot of negative things can really make you emphasize to do better, though. And that's why I'm also kind of like being negative, because I feel like when you're negative, you can be a bit more realistic.
Yeah. Than
being obsessively optimistic, because earlier this year, it wasn't really. It was strange to me because it didn't upset me, and it hasn't upset me. Like, I'm not a very emotional person. I think people have got that by now.
Yeah.
But,
you have your
my grandfather passed away from Alzheimer's, and that was the first funeral I've ever been to. And it didn't make me feel sad. I wasn't upset that he was gone, because he suffered for such a long time anyway. So it was kind of like a relief thing,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It was just a bizarre feeling, because I saw everyone else crumble around me. And it made me realise, and it's stupid, some people are going to be like, oh my god, you're only thinking about yourself and all that sort of thing. But it made me realise, like, because I've always lived by a lot of messages surrounding death. Like, I don't think you should ever mourn someone. I think you should celebrate people. Celebrate
the life they live.
Mourn.
Don't be unhappy. Yeah, that they're gone.
Yeah,
I mean, it's of course.
Yeah, and it's like, I wasn't upset about it. It doesn't really bother me. I think about it, I'm like, oh, I wonder where he is now, and that's kind of like my idea. I'm very existential like that, so it's just kind of there. But because I was also and it fucked with me, because like Sorry, excuse me, swear. I know we're allowed to swear and stuff. I'm trying to reduce that, as well. That's another thing I want to stop. I don't want to stop it completely, but I want to don't do it unnecessarily.
That's a great goal. I want as well. I want that as well. I started doing that and I was getting good, but sorry, continue.
But I was also a coffin bearer, so that was bizarre. It was interesting because obviously it was 6 people are meant to hold a coffin, right? There was 4 of us. One of them wasn't even our family. So I was front left, my uncle was front right, one of his my granddad's best friend was back left, and then there was a person that works at the morgue. But it was interesting because I was walking down holding it, and I just kept thinking, I was like, I need to do what I want. I need to live my life. I need to do what I want to do, before I end up like this. Because it's like, it just, things like that, upsetting things and me failing makes me angry, but not in a bad way. It makes me angry to the sense where it's like, I need to do this, I need to work, That's why I've been so much more dedicated to the podcast. It's why I started up 2 extra channels, one about logging some things for Project Rebirth, which I can't really speak about, Cynic Plus, where I do my shorts, and I've also done something like a weekly log. I'm not doing them weekly, but they're like a new series. It's not out, well, it's out now, but as of right now, as of recording this, it's not out. It's called the Hive Mind. It's just talking about things in general, about the way I make stuff, etc., the way college works, etc. It's just an interesting thing that I thought I'd make just as a bit of a side project to keep me going. But overall, it's kind of just like made me like, I need to work, because the only other instances happened where I've been like, I need to get this done, otherwise, because the only person it benefits and doesn't benefit is me. So why am I not doing it? So the first time that this proper thought occurred to me was when I unlisted half my videos. At the time I was like, yeah, I'm not too upset about it, but now I kind of am. Because looking back on it, I was like, why didn't I? I was in a really poor mindset, like a really bad mindset. That's why 2021 sucked so much. But I was in such a bad mindset. For those of you who don't know, I used to run a pretty big channel. Well, it's the same channel, but I had loads of videos on it about Apex. There was like loads of Apex, Fortnite, Minecraft, loads of stuff that did really well. That got me to 3,700 watch hours out of 4,000. For those of you who don't know, you need 4,000 to monetize. And if you put those videos on unlisted, yes, your channel looks cleaner, but you lose those watch hours. So I lost around like 3 years of work. I know it's only a year, it counts a year, but I counted around 3 years of work. Kind of went down the drain because I was like, you know what, I want a fresh start, which I needed. I definitely needed that fresh start. I started doing a new sort of content that's also doing just as well. The first video I put out of this new type of content is now at 700 views, 100 likes, so it wasn't a bad transition. It was just, in the long run, it kind of was like, if I just kept going for a little bit longer, I then should have done it and then had monetization. But I was in such a bad mindset where I couldn't even do that. So it just goes to show how much, and that's why I'm just kind of like, you know what, 2021, year of the cynic, we're going to get there, we're going to do it, I've got a lot of things that have happened this year which have just made me go, I need to take control of my life and do those things that I want to do, be a bit more disciplined. I've started going to the gym, I've started seeing people more, I started speaking to people when I felt a bit more like crap, and stuff like that, just little things like that, because I realised one of the biggest things in life when it comes to stability is balance. You really have to balance out what you do, and that's why staying on the same name, being the same character, staying in the same room, all that sort of stuff, that is what fucks with you. That's why I've needed these changes, and that's why I'm making these changes, so in the year 2022 I can finally make that leap. I get you completely. I think 2022 is going to be hopefully a big year. I believe it's going to be a big year for both of us, 100%, because it's we're both aging, we're both getting older, of course, but at the end of the day we're both learning more. That's what it is. Like for me, I've learned. An official adult in 2022.
But there you go. You're saying I'm going to be 22, man, which is it's quite crazy. It's quite surreal.
Mad, 'cause you met me when you were, was it 16?
15.
15, oh my god. And I was 13, I believe.
Yeah,
and now I am nearly 18 in January 13th, and that's mad. That's insane.
It's so surreal to think how fast time flies past. For me though, right now, I feel this year's been a lot for me, honest. I said with all my personal stuff that's happened, with losing my house and all that kind of stuff, and that was horrible. I said, losing, a house that I lived in for the past 10 years. Like there's nothing more weird than realizing how little you actually have. until it's taken. You know, it's like you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone, right? But it's like when I lost
funny
my
you
house.
mentioned that. Sorry to cut you off real quick, but
that's cool.
I'm in a similar situation with the whole house stuff because I'm moving, and it makes you. Like, I'll let you carry on, obviously, but it makes you realize your like impermanence. You know what I mean? Like how you can just move, and it
could be here and gone tomorrow. Like it's, you know, you could have this now and go tomorrow. And for me, with my house, you know, I've told this I think in my personal vlogs, and it was so damn sad, man. It still hurts me even right now, you know, partially. But like for me, what hurt the most, 100% was that, like on my last day being in the house, I just remember I remember because we had to move into my dad's girlfriend's, of course, and it was rough because it was like, you know, we had nowhere else to go. It was such kind of like we had 2 weeks to prepare. We got the notification on the 25th, and they were coming, you know, 2 weeks after that. And we did nothing really sunk in. You know, the first week we were trying to you know, run around and trying to fix things and trying to, oh, it'll be fine, call people up, you know, and nobody could do anything. Our housing association were like, no, we're not. There's no middle ground here. There's no about this. You're getting out. You're getting kicked out. And it was horrible because, you know, it wasn't like I had a small house. Like upstairs, downstairs, had the attic, had a big garage, front and back garden. It was beautiful, man. Like I love my old house. You know, it was 10 years living there. You know, since age 10 when I left my mother, all the way up till my adulthood now, 21, and it was just horrible. You know, it really was. It was. I said, like, the last day I remember, because our housing company were coming around. They said they'd be there at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So we spent the night before. It was one of the worst things I ever had to go through. You know, we didn't have a car to move everything, so we had to get my dad's girlfriend's son, Ali, his name is, a good friend of mine, because that's how I met him from high school, and we've known him for years. I'm from school. He had to do about, honestly, maybe 100 different trips, like, and maybe less. 100 is maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but at least like 60 different trips back and forth with us moving stuff, cabinets into his car. We worked from, like, I don't know, I'd say 6 at night all the way till like 10 in the morning, all night long, back and forth trips. I was doing, like, undoubtedly, not even trying to be big-headed, but the most amount of work, because I realized, you know, there was this thing in my head going, hey, listen, if you don't get this done, there's no, you can't come back tomorrow. This is it. They're locking the doors. That's it. Everything in there.
It's the whole impermanence thing as well. It's not even the items. It's also like, obviously it is the items, but when it comes to everything in general, it's like the area, the stuff you do. It's like when I eventually get out of here, I'm not gonna have that walk that I do all the time.
Yeah, it's honestly, see, for me, man, I wished, and I'll be honest here, I genuinely was wishing that before I left, I could have got my phone and I could walk around the house recording it, just to remember everything, just to have it there. But my phone was broken to the point where if it wasn't plugged into the charger for like all times, I'd run out of battery in seconds, so I couldn't do it. But I genuinely remember the last day though, after moving, we spent all night working our asses off to move stuff. I was exhausted, both, you know, emotionally and both physically, but it was about 12 o'clock the guys were coming, and my dad, I thought he left it sounds silly and all, but a pair of shorts in the house. And my dad had a pair of Hibernian hip shorts, which he's had for years, and it was just something that's so small but so sentimental value wise. And he couldn't find them in the house, and it was one of those things. I remember them being on the radiator because we'd done washing and putting stuff up there, and I thought, wait, are they still there? So I got the keys, and we had to run round from my dad's girlfriend's house. I had to sprint. It was like about 11:45. Had to sprint around from my dad's girlfriend's house all the way around to my old house, unlock the door, and as I was running to the door, down the road at the bottom of the street, I could see my housing company, like 3 vans of them, just waiting until 12 o'clock, and then they're going to walk up the road and come into the house and, you know, inspect it. And this was the hardest part, getting in there. The shorts weren't there or whatnot, but just looking around my house, you know, like, you know, my sofa, my beds, you know, my dad's bed, the furniture, like so many items that couldn't be brought with us because we didn't have enough space. You know, so many things. Even my car, my Volkswagen was left, and like still there. I couldn't take that because we needed to get into the garage because the water pump was broken. So it was just sitting there. It's been sitting there for about a couple of months, or it was. And I just remember genuinely walking up. I remember I ran upstairs because, again, they're waiting down the road. They've only got minutes until they come up to the door. Ran in the house, ran upstairs. I'm looking in the bathroom, nothing's there. Looking at my dad's room, looking in my room, just giving it one kind of final look over everything. And then just kind of, you know, emotionally being kind of quite upset, like kind of crying. You know, I wasn't in tears, but I felt like I was holding them back as best I could. I was just sitting looking at the walls and the roofs and all these little, you go like, it's just walls, Joe, you know, there's nothing, but it's just reminding myself that I would never be going in there ever again, to open up those doors, to walk in that hallway, to walk around, you know, like even the little things that I remember the night before, or it was like because it was just a couple days before. I remember like going to the store, my local store, the Premier. I'd done it millions of times in the past 10 years I lived there, and going there and then running back, coming in the house, unlocking the door, lifting up the handle, locking it. Those things, as silly and as stupid that probably sounds to most people, like, you're locking a door.
It's so sentimental though.
Yeah, but knowing that I would never be able to do that again in that house, and I'd never be able to walk in that hallway and walk up the stairs and have this place that I've been in for the past 10 years. It was horrible. And then, I remember just having to leave because it was 1:45. It was like 5:45. They were coming up the street. I had to make sure the doors were locked, grab the keys. There was so much left. Like everything. I lost like my teddy from when I was growing up called Bunkins. I showed him off on stream. As silly as it sounds, probably someone gonna be listening going, "Yo, what a crybaby, what a bitch." I don't give a fuck, man. Say what you want to say. Things like that mean a lot to me. I had a teddy that I'd had since I was born called Bunkins that my dad gave me. I think my mum got my dad the teddy as like a Valentine's Day gift. A little cat called Bunkins. I loved him.
It's like a little heirloom thing.
Yeah, and then my dad gave it to me when I was born, and I had it all the way through my life, all the way up till I was 21, and then I lost it because I don't know, I couldn't find it. I was trying to move everything around, ripping up couches, trying to find everything, trying to move everything, but we had so little time. And I remember, genuinely just I said having to leave, going out the back door, just looking at everything, going, this is it, like this is it, my weight bench, my weights, like my living room, my furniture, everything, TVs, everything, having to leave it all behind. My car in the garage, toys of mine, toys even, right? Like growing up, I was a only child, right? So like I didn't have any brothers or any siblings. So I had toys and whatnot that like I used to play with when I was a kid, action figures, Action Men, all that kind of stuff, everything. Looking at all and going, I will never have that again. I'm losing that now. And it was so heartbreaking. And to this day, I walk past it every other day now. If I need to go up to the certain side of my town, and I walk past, and it just hurts so much to see other people living there. The lights are on, my car's gone, my garden's no longer the same. They've cut down hedges that we spent years growing. It's just
you know why I can feel for this so much is just before obviously my grandfather passed. They my nan and my granddad used to live like 25 minutes away, which was great. We'd go down there every Christmas. That's how it was. But they sold the house because, well, for the reasoning, Nan, I quote, was, we don't know how long we've got left, so they wanted to move near the seaside. So they've moved near the seaside, which is up near Dover, which is like an hour and 20 minutes away. So that's a pain. So we don't see them as much. Well, now we do because Nan always comes down because obviously Granddad passed. But it just kind of sucks as well because now I walk past their house and it's like that's where Granddad used to be, that's where Nan used to be.
Yeah.
That's where I used to go every Christmas, and now there's just a family inhabiting my space. It's like
it doesn't
alien.
feel right.
It's so
alien. It doesn't
alien.
feel right. You can never look at that again and think, no, it's just someone else's house. Like that's my house.
No, that's my house, but there's some people in it.
Yeah, and it's like whenever I walk past, it pains me. I walk past up the side back alleyway of my house but where my room was, it was at the back of the house, and people know this if they watch the streams. When I said before, I had a huge big room, my own end for the office and where my desk was, and the other end for my bed and my sofa and whatnot. But walking past, I could see the windows and look in and see my door and all this. It's not my door anymore, but what was. And they're looking at it and just remembering all the times I had there, just thinking, well, that's no longer got that. But this was the thing that hurt so much, and I think that's like mainly why this year has been so bad, because it was obviously losing my house, right, and all these possessions. But it took such a toll on me personally. Like when it came down to making content, like this year, if you look back at my stats, like the December of this year till now, you'll see like the complete decline. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not trying to run away from that. I'm more than aware. I'm more than aware that I've stopped making content. I'm more than aware that I'm losing, viewership, or I'm not getting as much viewership, or subs as I once did. More than aware of that. But that's the thing. It's just that's what's had to happen. After everything I've been through, I'm just, I lost interest in want to make content. My priorities shifted. I was just no longer in that mindset. Streaming was the only thing I didn't mind doing, but I was just so beat up. I said I'm so thankful that I have my personal vlogs, because those are the only real time capsule that you can go and watch. If you watch like personal vlog number 3, 4, 5, whatever, the week like just when I got told about it, the news, and then a week later, you hear this deterioration of like my person, as me, just the realism sinking in that this is it. I'm about to lose my house. Where do we go? I've got nowhere to go. What do we do? Where do all our things go? Our car, possessions, garage full of stuff. There's no. What do we do? And then it happened, and it was just, I don't know, man. Then having to move into my dad's girlfriend's, had to share a room with my, I'm 21, I have to share a room with my dad's girlfriend's son Ali, which I don't mind. Ali is a good friend and all, but it was just, intruding in his space. You feel like you're living in someone else's house, and you feel like you're in their way.
Which is what you're doing. It's it's not. That's the thing. That wasn't a house. That was home.
That's what it was. It was home. And it's like, I say, it just hurts just even thinking about, the factor, like, it's the little things. That's what I'm trying to say. People don't understand, the little things are what is so important in life. And for me, it's not the possessions. The possessions are one thing. Maybe the teddy, right? That's the only thing I really care about. The car, don't care. Anything else, don't care. It's just the key little things, or like those like little things, like being able to walk in and being able to lock my door, being able to go upstairs to my own space, into my own room, or just walking around my house. It's like the stuff that I can never do again in that house.
People really take like, they really take personal space in your own area
for granted,
like really for granted, like really badly. Because it's like, I remember about when I'm like thinking about moving and that, I was like, there will be a period of time where I'll be in between the two, and I'm not going to enjoy that, because I like having a permanent place. Like, it's such a struggle, because it's such an integral life change, isn't it? Because
it's
where you're based.
It's when you change your surroundings, you change you. It's such a big change for me.
The tools
when I left my
shape
house.
You.
And when I left my house, it was so weird, because I initially moved into my dad's girlfriend's, of course, and I was sharing a room with my dad's girlfriend's son Ali, and his room was not big enough for us both. It was so weird. I was having to share space, like had a mattress on the floor where I'm having to sleep, and it was just, it was horrible. It was unfathomable how horrible it was. I was thinking, I'm not gonna be able to work, not gonna be able to do what I love doing, which is YouTube. I remember having to lie to people. People were asking me, how you doing? I'm having to say, better than good, better than most, and sometimes even better than that, while trying to fight back.
I remember you saying that all the time, but you'd always message me afterwards. Like, we'd always talk about that sort of thing, and I'm like,
and it was horrible, man. I remember when people, like friends of mine, found out, like, that, oh, yo, wait, what, this, you got evicted? Oh my god. And people are like, yo, you'll get through, John. I'm like, no, I know I will, but it takes a toll, man. These things are what make you who you are. But this is what I'm trying to say with it. It's although it's a scary thing you never want to have to experience, I'm happy that I did. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm happy in the sense where, like, I don't wish I had my house. I still do. I would love to still have that house. But then again, it's like, it makes you who you are. It builds you into this person. For me, it's like, what I realized was how much I don't own, how much I really don't actually own, and how much I was owning that I didn't need, losing all that furniture. Now I'm only tied onto my equipment, my desk, my dad, and some other little bits and pieces of clothes.
I know this is obviously me going in on the same sort of thing on a lot more positive approach, because I'm just moving in with my dad. But like, I think that's the same message. It's the whole, I'm going to be cut down to what I need, because I know I don't have to. I can bring whatever I want if I wanted to. The luxury I've got, which is just, it was just obviously on your end, it wasn't as fortunate.
It wasn't,
But I'm not going to do that, because I know personally, if I do that, I'll become obsessed and distracted. It's like, I want to be there, and I want to be there with my stuff that I need, not what I want. Because I have a few bits every now and then, obviously, around me, etc., because it's nice to have that, like, personal space. But it will just be my setup. It will be my equipment. It will be there so I just get to work every day. It won't be like, that it won't be a room. It will be a workspace, which is going to shape me into a bigger and better person. That's kind of what happened to you as well.
Well, I think that's definitely what happened. I think,
because I don't think you would have, you would have the drive, but I don't think you would have had the same amount of power to do so if you didn't have that negative experience.
I think it. No, it definitely does. It shapes you into knowing, like, this is how little you really have. And for me, it's like, if I've got one thing to take away from this experience, it's a factor of knowing that how important the people that are with me is, and what I have is. Like, don't get too comfortable. Anything can change at any point. For me, I thought this year was going to be phenomenal. I was moving into 2021 with great ambition. I knew things were not great. I known about this as an inevitable thing that's happening since December and January. I remember on January 13th, I think it was, or January 9th, in fact, 2 days before my birthday. It was January 9th. Yeah, it wasn't the 3rd, it was the 9th, right? But on the 9th, I remember we had a court to call up and be there via call to the court hearing, because this was when COVID was kind of still at its peak.
I remember you telling me this.
And and I was 2 days before. I was shaking. I was broken. I had to wait. I'd sit up till 6 a.m. and I was talking to someone. I won't mention names, but luckily I had someone to keep me company. I was sitting up till 6 a.m. sitting speaking, and I just worried my ass off. I still have the recording on my PlayStation. I think I'd probably delete it now, of the court thing, and it was just, it was just horrible, thinking like I'm going to lose my house, it's going to be horrible. Here we go, whatever. And then eventually I did. But like I said, I think like what you're saying as well, it makes you a better person. Well, I would say a better person. It changes you, For me though, it was like once I got over this thing, I moved into my dad's girlfriend, as I said, and at first it was a bit uncomfortable because I remember, the first night especially, me and my dad, we had dinner. And it was kind of nice, but it was kind of sad as well because we both sat and we felt like we were impeaching on everybody's space. My dad's girlfriend works all the time, so she's up very early. She goes to bed very early. In general, my dad's girlfriend's son Ali, he works night shift, but he's awake. He's like asleep during the day. He didn't wake up till like 3 in the afternoon. So my schedule that was good went right back to being bad because I was waking up when
you had to adjust.
Yeah, and it was horrible. And then my dad's girlfriend's daughter, she's in high school, so she does get up early, etc. And it's just, I remember we had to have the TV turned right down low. We felt uncomfortable. We were making dinner and we're sitting, both of us. It was nice because we were spending time together, but it's because it was just us. We were the only people that we had. It felt like, we aren't, but it's just that's how it felt, at first until we adjusted. But we were sitting watching. I'll never forget. My Name Is Earl, which is an old TV show. But it was beautiful, and we were just sitting eating dinner together, watching it, and just sitting speaking very quietly because we felt like we couldn't make any noise, and we didn't want to be in anybody's space. And it was hard, but it was nice. I'm saying, like, it made me kind of really appreciate what I've got right now, and that it made me also think that what I want to get in the future. Like I've said this before, I will never have that happen. Are we good?
You're
Hello?
Frozen.
Sorry, are we good now? Is the camera good now?
Yeah, you're fine. You were like,
sorry.
I was just trying to listen, and you just suddenly went.
I glitched there, but sorry about that. But no, as I was saying, one thing that I've taken away from it is I'm never gonna have that happen again. I'm never going to lose I'm never gonna get evicted. I'm gonna work as hard as I have to work to make sure that I can support my friends and my family, but also myself, get myself a house, buy myself a house, etc. Make sure I have my own place and nobody can kick me out of. That's my place, that's my space. And it'll take time, of course, but I'm gonna get that. But this year, I know it's been worthwhile. Like I said, with these tragic events at the beginning of the year, I contacted my mother. Right, I hadn't spoken to her in 5 years, and my mother's in her 50s, and I was like, it's about time that we speak. And I opened up that connection, and now I'm going to be hopefully visiting her, excuse me, before Christmas and spending the night at her place, and sitting with her and having a bit of like an early Christmas kind of chat and chill. But it'll be nice, and I managed to connect and rebuild so many bonds and better myself as a person because I've realized how important it is to have friends and people around you can really lift you up when you're down. So yeah, like that was a thing that happened a lot within my 2021. It was, I realized it's gonna sound really sad, like not in like it's sad, but like a meme sad, but like it was like, I think I was like 2 months into 2021, I was like, damn, I got no friends. Like it got to that point where it was like, like I think it was because of the transition from secondary to like college, because that was it was like at the beginning of my year. I'm on my second year of college now, but it was that whole, I used to see everyone every day, and now it's like I speak to 2 or 3 people, which isn't a bad thing because they're closer to me than any of those other people were. But it gets to that point where it's like, because I speak to so many people online and I've got a massive community, and I don't mean like the Mars Cynic community, I mean like Catman Joe, the Forgotten Podcast, Mars Cynic, the external, the bigger picture.
It's so big. People don't realize the plethora of people that are all in this together. Like, Discord is a very good visualization, but it doesn't quite cut it. But it's like, it made me realize, like, damn, am I supposed to like be really in touch with people like IRL? Because obviously when I go to college, they're talking about getting jobs, finding contacts and stuff. But it's all like, to me, it's all a bit too easy because it stresses me out. Because they're like, you just go out and you need to find contacts and jobs, and I'll be like, oh, okay. They're like, you need to find someone to work for, like do some freelance, do some work. I was like, I'll take Zebrus. Now I work for Zebrus. That was so easy. Like, I have these contacts, these skills, etc. To the point where it's like, what's the point? I just felt a bit like I can do it, but like.
Yeah, so I was gonna say this year though, like, I mean, like, you've been so like you said, you also had your own stuff going on, of course, as well, especially and as of right now recently. But like I mean, you got your first job this year, did you not? You started your working. Yeah, I started working. Job. And he said it's been a weird kind of thing, but it's been like it's changing you kind of thing, like in a way where
it's like although it's nice. Okay, right. I like having a job, but I don't like having a job. I like earning money, but I don't like working. Like, obviously that's due to where I work. I don't like where I work. Like, it's I never wanted to work with food, but it's the only place that would let me in because finding a job if you don't have work experience is impossible. They're like, oh, we're hiring under 18s. It's going to be great. Come in. Well, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Oh, wait, you've done nothing. Well, yeah, because I'm 17, you dipshit. It's like, what do you want from me? Do you want me to be like out the womb working in the coal mines? Like, is that the experience you want? Because it's so impossible to do. I didn't even get into my job via like an actual send in my CV, etc. One of my friends already worked there and got a word in for me. And honestly, bless her, by the way. She's one of the people I speak to at college. She's absolutely fantastic. And then we started a channel together at one point, but we're working that out and stuff like that. But it's all about contacts, which I've realized, especially when it comes to stuff like media, YouTube, etc. So if you don't have the contacts, so for example, when it comes to like job stuff, it's kind of like impossible, which sucks because then I can't work on what I want to work on. Because I would argue, and I've said this plenty of times before, it's not the only thing holding me back. One of the main things is attitude and discipline and devotion, which is what I'm working on, and I think it's going very swiftly. One of the things mainly holding me back is my equipment. But I need that money to do so. But to get more hours, I need promotion, etc.
So it's a steady climb. But that's why,
like I said,
I'm kind
life
of
is about
excited
balance.
Yeah, but this is why I'm kind of excited. That's why we wanted to make this episode. Because initially, actually, I may as well tell you, we're really speaking to each other here, which is what I like. We're kind of not really speaking to the audience, which is quite cool. But like, this is something that oh my god, I can't speak. Sorry, but like, this is something where it's like, this is why we wanted to make this episode, because initially we had another episode planned for episode 28, and we had I don't want to say what's going to happen, but episode 31 will be the episode.
Let's just say it was vastly more negative.
Yes, it was a very negative episode, but we can tell you right now that episode was a green red episode, and that's been kind of detoured for episode 31. So stay tuned for episode 31. You'll find out what it was, and you'll understand. Oh, it makes sense why they've delayed it now. But we thought that this would be a much more impactful episode to talk about this. But this is where I'm quite excited for 2022, because I mean, I'm very happy that you said that there, Joseph. I'm very proud of you as well, man, because it's like, like the whole idea of like as well, like stopping like swearing as well, or trying to cut it out as much as well. Like same with me, trying to cut down on the cussing and swearing.
I definitely don't want to eradicate it. I like the big fuck off. But what I mean is, like, I don't want it to be to the point where it's the only thing on my vocab. I think so far, especially since the VIP Man episode, it's definitely been easier to cut it down. So thank you for that, Dan.
No, thank you, Dan, as well. Yeah, it's for me at the beginning of the year. And as I moved and when I got to the new house, I really tried to cut out swearing, and I got good with it. But it's just because on my Twitch I allow swearing, but I think I'm going to cut that out soon. I think I'm going to try and Twitch and YouTube just fully cut it out.
I think it's so hard to have one place where you do it and one place you don't. I feel like you either have to or you don't. Because otherwise you mix it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. So for me, I think this year for 2022, I want to try and cut swearing out entirely, which is like, oh, but that's a big thing. And well, I think when you don't swear very often or at all, when you do swear,
it's more impactful.
Yeah, and it's like, that's why I'd rather use those words for when I need to, or when I'm trying to make something a very clear statement or point, but I don't want to use them often like they're in my vocabulary. It's just my second nature. And I feel like as well it makes you seem less intelligent or less educated, right? And it's one of those things where my vocabulary isn't that vast in general. I've already told everybody this. I dropped out of high school before my exams.
Mine's okay.
I wasn't an A+ student and whatnot, but I know what I'm saying. I know some big words, but like at the end of the day,
what's the biggest word you know, Joe?
Hippopotamus. You ever seen? No, I'm playing. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Give me a second. Give me a second right now. Supercalifragilistic. That's not a word. You ever said no? But like, I don't know, man. I don't know right off the top of my bat. Right. What's yours?
What's mine?
Yeah, biggest word you know.
I can't say it, but it's the one. I can copy and paste it to chat, but it's the one for when you get volcanic dust in your lungs. It's the biggest word in the English dictionary. I can't remember how you say it, but I'll put.
You just muted. I know it's sign language here. I know what you're saying. There you go. I'm gonna try and read it out from him. 1 second. Googling this. It means he doesn't know it. You've seen I'm playing. But like, no, it's this episode really meant a lot to us. Let me see. I really wanted to do this for this reason, so we could kind of speak about what we've been for this year. There we go. You hear? Oh my god.
I can't say it, but I know it means when you get volcanic ash in your lungs.
Phenomenal. What the? But am I casting a spell? What the fuck is this, man?
Wait, just so people can see it, I'm gonna change my name to it.
Let me pop it up. Actually, I can try and pop it up as an actual comment. But yeah, change your name. Joseph's gonna change his name to it, guys. So watch us. If you're watching, you'll see. Try anybody right now. Bruce, the bonus points to anybody who can read that right there. Sorry, one sec there.
Yeah, send us an audio file. Tag us on Twitter.
Best shot. Yeah, tag us on Twitter with you guys trying to do it, and we'll see how it goes. 100%. But right, one sec, Joseph. You want to continue? I'm gonna have to detour just for a second.
A detour.
He's gonna kick us on. Detour just for a sec. I'll be right back. One sec. Skeet.
See your profile photo. Okay. Ooh, what should we speak about, people? We should do like one of those, like the kids shows where I'll say something and you say it too. Actually, no, don't do that, because I feel like some of you will do that, and then I feel like the people around you will be very concerned, because they'll be like, why is my 17 to 26-year-old son saying something to a screen to someone who's wearing a waistcoat? And I feel like that's our demographic, mainly male, between 17 and 26. I think that's an estimate. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. And to incorrect me, I would like you to put your mother's maiden name in the comment section below. On that note, by the way, Catman Joe's profile photo, I want to get a bit of a conflicting, I don't know what I'm saying. I want to get a bit of a vote going on, right? Catman Joe's profile photo, or my profile photo. I don't know how old Joe is in his.
No, mine's is better. Mine's is better. Nah, come on now, look at this right
Fedora
here.
Joe is kind of poggers. Look at that bent ear.
Come on, man. Mine's look better. I don't know, man. Mine looks better.
Dude, I look like a gamer in the making. I am epic.
It's mad till we've actually got this.
You've still got a scuffed hairline in yours.
Well, I was trying. That's why I downloaded this photo the other day, because everybody was like, "Oh man, your hairline looks mad."
Because you were a hairline baby.
No, and I was like, "No, you guys. I've always had this hairline. It's just my family's hairline. That's what it is.
Your genetics are scuffed.
That's what it is. It's madness. You know what I'm saying? But god damn it. So wait, what were we talking about there? Sorry for having to hop out there for just a second.
I was just harassing the viewers, to be honest.
Just harassing.
I was trying to guess their demographic and stuff. I said most of our audience is probably like male from 17 to 26.
I see.
And I was saying, like, if you're incorrect, please put in the comment section your mother's maiden name. I'm very unfunny. But
there you go.
We move.
But no, so you gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? But like no, like but yeah. So I said we wanted to do this episode mainly just talk about what we've been through in 2021 and our goals for 2022. A little bit, obviously, of course, because I'm sure our goals will change. But like I said, I'm very excited to see where this show, like the TFP, us individually, Master Nick, Catman Joe, where we both go within 2021 or 2022, excuse me. Because it's going to be quite an exciting time, honestly. It's going to be quite an amazing time. I know that Joseph's right now on the road to get a PC. I mean, Joseph, you can tell him obviously a bit about it.
I mean, I've got one, but it is just as useful as plugging in a block of cement. So, other than that, that's kind of the main goal. Because what I've done this year, on the positives, I got the webcam for this, which is pretty good. It's the Logitech.
Big upgrade.
What's the
C22.
C922. I know the make, but other than that, I'm pretty useless.
C922.
I also got the Elgato S Plus, which they're both amazing things. It's just it's like having really nice tires on a broken down car. It's very anticlimactic. I've got powerful equipment, you know,
but not the right power for it.
Yeah. So money, please.
Yeah, I think this is something that's going to be interesting. Something that's going to be interesting for both of us. Like, you know, I've got my PC now, of course. I've got obviously the C922, the Logitech C922, which is what you've got as well. You know, obviously good microphone, you know, good headphones. I got these here and whatnot, of course, which is awesome. They're my beauty. I love these. These are my favorites. Thank you, by the way, for Travis for the inspiration. Search up Zebra's headphones, you'll find them. Don't worry.
It's just got his like avatar.
You genuinely, if you search up, you find them. I'm not. That's how I found them. And I am telling Travis he's blown away. I'm not even kidding.
Do it anyway.
You can. We can do it right now.
On Amazon.
We can do it right now. No, you don't do it on Amazon. You just do it on Google and you'll find them.
On Google.
Just on Google. But yeah, let me see. Sorry guys, 1 second. Excuse me. I don't want my dad just came in here and
Sorry, guys.
I've told you not to do that.
Oh, apparently everyone's invading now. Hello, Mum.
Let's see. 1 second. All right.
We're 1 second
right now. That's Joseph's mum. That's Joseph's mum. Just came. So my
your
dad,
my mum. Everyone just wants to be.
Catman Dad, Joseph's mum. Hi everybody.
A cup of tea? Yes, please, but don't bring
Joseph's
it in. Throw it over the wall.
You gotta get your mum to fling the tea in. Tell your mum we said hi. Tell your mum we said hi, Joseph.
Oh, Catman and his dad says hi.
Hi.
She says hi. Huh?
I'm just through.
Do you guys want tea?
Yeah, we'll have tea. We'll have tea. I'll read that in a second. Yeah, we'll have tea, please.
2 cups. 3 cups.
Yeah, I'll give you mine. I got my cups here. He's making coffees.
Oh, he's making coffee.
Oh no.
Do Phenol, no. I like a good coffee.
Coffee's good. Tea's
I mean,
better.
I'm currently injecting caffeine into my brain at the moment. So, there is cocaine in that, by the way. I'm buzzing.
This is a spit. This is a. Give me a second. I'm just going to finish. But can you give me just a second? Just a second detour. I'm going to read the text.
You want me to carry again?
So is that cool? Carry again. You were saying carry again.
Give me a topic. Give me a topic. Any topic.
What else we're going to speak about for this episode? I guess.
I don't know. We've kind of got it all. We got the whole family.
We've got it all. Yeah, we've got the whole. Yeah, the whole family's been involved here. I'm trying to think.
Any topic out of anything.
Out of anything. I know. I don't know. The Shorts channel. Talk about
the Shorts channel is a fantastic place to watch the Forgotten podcast. If you don't have the best, well, not the best, the amount of time to watch a full episode. The Shorts channel is like a mini side project we've got alongside TFP. If you want to watch any of the clips condensed into a more bite-sized content variant. I'm really stumbling over words at the moment because I've been put on the spot. But overall, subscribe. If you don't, I'm going to hunt your family down and hang them on my wall. Because as you can see right now, it is looking rather bland, and I don't know, man. How do I set a podcast channel? Do you want to see the statistics? Do you want to see my credit card number? Like, what more do you want from me, people? This is meant to be an emotional episode. It's meant to really capture that, 2021 tragedy. But no, the family has turned up. And I'm talking about the Shorts channel now. So, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to do that. And if you don't, I'm going to detonate a bomb I've planted in the middle of the US Embassy. So, 10,
Sorry.
9... Are you going to cut in, are you?
So, I am.
Cut in. Get
Is
out.
your mum making
Turn
a
your camera off. Turn your camera off. 8, 7, 6, 5. Can't see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. No, fuck it. 3, 2... 1. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, I'm in your garden.
Oh, I see.
I'm in your garden.
Is this that's just where it is?
Spot. I don't know what to say.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm gone.
I'm genuinely sorry. Listen, we didn't intend for this episode to be that long. We actually already kind of said this. I mean, Joe, we can speak about this. We did say this episode was a green raid episode. We just want to chill. We wanted to make a really chill episode, just chatting some shit for New Year. But I mean, I guess we're getting both close to the end, of course, and we can both kind of end in a minute. I know. I guess I'll tell you real quick what that text is about. All right, which is actually quite amazing because of what we're doing right now, what we're recording. That's why my dad just had to come in here and intrude. Apparently, we might be getting a house. Very interesting. I don't know. Probably not. It's very slim. But that's what it was. It was text regarding that. So yeah. But I guess, Joseph, do you think we covered everything for this episode? I think we have.
Everything in the sense of the topics we've chosen to cover. Or
yeah, New Year, how it's been for us both, our aspirations and goals for 2022, our resolutions.
I think we've covered it pretty well, to be honest. I think we've gone over the basics of what we wanted to say. We've got the whole family involved. It's a very family-oriented episode.
Your mum, my dad?
They're all paid actors, so it's completely fine.
They're all paid, I'm saying. Paid,
they are.
Not with money.
I literally went, your mum, $5, bring me a cuppa, it'll be hilarious.
See if she brought you like 3 cups of tea, my god, that'd be amazing.
Thing is, though, she does, like, genuinely. Like, I am cracked on caffeine, like, about 80% of the time.
I could use a couple. I'm gonna have to go make one in a minute. But I guess we should just end this episode by just saying Happy New Year, everybody. This will be a bit of a wackier, kind of non-structured episode, but I really like this.
Wacky.
I love when we do. I love when we do episodes
I like it
this.
as well.
These are my favorite types of. Yeah, it's like when we've done the Kiwi episode and whatnot, stuff like that. They're a lot more casual, unscripted, just chill. You get the more genuine us. But I mean, you guys all know our goals. Going into 2022, of course, we're both getting older. We're both getting smarter. We're getting better equipment. We're both going to work on our. I guess
I'm getting younger.
So it's getting younger. If I clean shave,
I'm in fetal development soon.
That's what it is. But like, no, we both got big goals, and I hope that we both achieve them. I believe that we both will, honestly. And I just want to say to everybody watching right there, thank you guys for watching this show. This means a lot to us personally. We can say that honestly and openly.
I have one more New Year's resolution.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to do more podcast outros and intros.
You want to sign this one off?
Yeah.
Wish them all a Happy New Year.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I hope they all suck. No. Okay.
Whoa.
Right. Whoa. Okay. Now. Whoa! I feel overpowered. There we are.
There we go.
Yeah. Stay over there, you peasant.
God damn.
Turn your camera off and all.
No, I'm keeping it on.
Turn your camera off.
I'm giving you the big screen.
Okay. Fine. Thank you very much, Legends and Specimens, for watching this episode of The Forgotten Podcast. It has been an absolute treat, and welcome to the new year 2022. So, hopefully you all have a good one, and if not, well... bad
Sucks
luck,
to be you.
Yeah, honestly, cringe. Get good. What are you doing, gamers?
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all later.
You can't outro after me, you peasant. I'm done. This is the end. This is the absolute
This is the
niche.
end.
You are done.
This is going to cut off. It's just going to end here.
Niche.
Black screen.
Gone.
Black screen.
Zero.
Get it going.
I'm
going to edit.
the
I'm
big
editing
picture
this.
now.
I'm the one editing this. I'm going to
No,
edit
you're
this.
not.
I'm going to edit
this.
it. I'm going to
No,
edit
you're
this.
not. Race
No,
me.
I'm
Fight
going to
me.
edit
Actually,
it.
don't do
Fight
that.
me.
My internet
Let's
is
do
crap.
it. Bro, I'm pulling up my sleeves. Let's get going. You know say square up.
I'm wearing a shirt, bro. Also,
See,
I've
that's
got like
it.
a
Yeah.
stick.
Scrub,
I have the
bro.
complexion and body shape of paper.
All right, we're recording right now. Joe, when you're editing this, you ass. I hope you know I'm recording without you. Look, I look like I'm sweating buckets. Just had to dampen my face so I don't dry out like a sponge.
Cup.
Oi, oi, Captain Joe.
All I got was dry up like a sponge.
Dry up like a sponge, you know what I'm saying? Right, let me get my headphones real
I need
quick.
to find like a... I've got like a cracked out picture of me as a child. Hold on, I need to find out like a nutter.
Listen, if you were a crack baby, man, that's not something to be proud about. You know what
Crack
I'm saying, man?
baby.
You know there's kids that are born addicted to crack. You know that, yeah?
No, but I want
Yeah.
to meet one.
No. Legit, because, right, so basically, if the mother, if she takes, like, crack
because
or...
the feeding and shit.
Yeah, so she can pass on her drug habits, kids, like heroin habits and shit.
God, that's
really-
really class as shit.
It's really mad, man. I had a crack habit when I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing.
I'm too middle class for crack.
Oh, I see, man. See, I was from the lower class, you know. I was from the scum. You know what I'm saying? The scum. Here, let's get eat.
I'm now just not going to edit any of that and keep it all
What, sorry?
nice and... What?
That was not funny.
Oh, whoa, that's not funny.
Snort, snort.
Who's in my fucking ears?